headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. The advanced polls for the provincial election are now open, minus one major candidate, Laurie Throness. Thanksgiving tragedy as two teens die in a traffic accident by the Fraser River. The traffic cones in Cultus Lake come down for now, and the Chilliwack Chiefs place a couple of picks in the NHL entry draft. Our special guests this week include the candidates for the provincial riding of Chilliwack-Kent, as well as Clint Ames and Andy Rolleman of NexGen Hearing, and another edition of Now Hear This. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. And breaking news. Laurie Throness, who has never been shy for controversy, well, this last outing may have cost him his political career. On Wednesday, during a Zoom public debate, he mentioned that he had problems with the NDP promise of free contraception. He also made some other remarks that the NDP did not appreciate. Well, then Liberal leader Andrew Wilkinson got on Twitter and said he was going to speak with Laurie Throness at the earliest convenience. That happened on Thursday. And shortly after that, and according to Andrew Wilkinson, as soon as he made contact with Throness, Laurie Throness resigned from the Liberals and resigned from the 2020 provincial election campaign. Now, here's the caveat. The Elections BC ballots have already been printed, and the advance ballots have already been sent up. So what happens? Could Throness still win? In a nutshell, yes, he can, but not as a Liberal. So we'll see what happens on election night. Now, meanwhile, over 680,000 people will vote in this year's provincial election by using a mail-in ballot. Now, that number continues to grow. The advance polls opened October 15th. They run to the 21st. chillTV will have Simpson's Notary's BC 2020 election coverage with hosts Clint Ames and Bud Mercer and yours truly, providing updates and analysis all evening long, starting at 7:30, just before the polls close on Saturday, October 24th, and that's right here on chillTV. We will have more election coverage later on in the show from the Simpson Notary's BC Election 2020 debates, as seen on chillTV on Wednesday. Meanwhile, tragedy over the Thanksgiving long weekend. Late Saturday night, a vehicle rolled over on Balham Road, over a concrete partition, and into the Fraser River. Two teenage girls, 17 and 18 years old, died. A 21-year-old male was airlifted to regional hospital in critical condition. RCMP would not release the names, and they continued their investigation on whether alcohol and speed were factors. And ironically, this was near the memorial of a similar accident in 2016.
Hi, I'm Diane Jansen, and today I wanted to talk to you about how passionate I am about Chilliwack. I've had the privilege of serving you as a city councillor, school trustee, and executive director of Chilliwack Community Services, and I've seen firsthand what we can do together when we focus on healthcare, education, infrastructure, and serious issues like homelessness. On October 24th, I ask for your support, and let's make Chilliwack even better.
The cleanup from Tuesday's windstorm continues. At the height of the storm, power was out for tens of thousands in the Fraser Valley. chillTV's freelance reporter Sean Glazier was out tracking the carnage, including downed power poles and hydro lines, and a trampoline that took flight. That video went viral. Online booking for all Fraser Health COVID-19 test collection centers is now available for people who want to make an appointment for the test. And testing is available for those who are experiencing symptoms of COVID-19 and for those who have been sent for testing by a physician or by public health. The online booking tool can be found on the Fraser Health website. The outdoor Rotary book sale back in August, so successful as a one-day event that the regular October book sale will go ahead, but not in the old location of past years. It used to be at the Chilliwack Mall. This year, it'll run October 25th to the 31st at Heritage Park. COVID-related Christmas cancellations are now happening, and the first major casualty is Operation Red Nose. The volunteer driving, not-for-profit way to get home from the Christmas party won't be running. Cabs, transit, and designated drivers will have to pick up the extra traffic. You'll recall the frustration for Cultus Lake residents when everyone, it seems, raced to Cultus Lake and other destinations, trying to shake off COVID cabin fever. Traffic and parking along Columbia Valley Road was a nightmare. It got so bad that the Ministry of Transportation and Infrastructure placed hundreds of cones along the road to keep parking off the road. Well, the traffic made it difficult for emergency crews to get through and posed a safety hazard. Some frustrated drivers went as far as throwing those road cones over the embankment just to create their own parking space. And many vehicles and drivers were ticketed, some were towed. Now, the cones are about to disappear, at least for the winter. The ministry are removing them this week, but they may make a comeback in the spring. chillTV, along with Simpson Notaries and Mark's commercial of Chilliwack presenting the BC 2020 election series. Clint Hames moderated an all-candidates meeting for the riding of Chilliwack-Kent at Ryder Lake Studios, the home for chillTV. And you'll be able to see that immediately following this newscast at 5:30 on the chillTV YouTube channel. And coming up, Andy Rolleman of NexGen Hearing and another edition of Now Hear This.
I'm Josue Anderson. I have the privilege of running as an independent in the snap election for the Chilliwack riding. I am not a trained politician. I was born into poverty and left school with student debt. Now, I'm retired at 30. I'm a small business capitalist. And we need to work together to make the hyper-wealthy start paying their fair share so the tax burden stops falling on the working class. As an independent, the only people I have to answer to are the people of Chilliwack. I'm here to listen and to fight for all of your rights.
Two players with the Chilliwack Chiefs were selected in last week's NHL entry draft. Ethan Bowen, drafted by the Anaheim Ducks, 7th round and 207th overall. And Keenan Draper was selected by his dad, Chris Draper, the director of amateur scouting for the Detroit Red Wings. Maddie Gobeil is set to become the second active UFV women's basketball player to spend the 2020-21 season playing pro in Europe. The rising sophomore point guard from Kamloops has inked a contract with the pro team in France. She joins Deanna Tertier as the current Cascades now playing in Europe. Deanna is now playing with a Hungarian pro team. The pride of Abbotsford High School football and the Pittsburgh Steelers rookie Chase Claypool has once again stolen the spotlight. Claypool had a day very few have in Steelers history when he scored 4 touchdowns in the Steelers' 38-29 win over Philadelphia at Heinz Field. By the way, that is a Steeltown rookie team record.
Welcome to another edition of Now Hear This with Andy Rolleman. Andy, welcome to your own show.
Thank you so much, Berris, for that beautiful introduction. And
My pleasure.
I can't believe this is number 3. This is number 3 in Now Hear This, and it is so good to be back.
Well, thank you for coming back. And I think over the last couple of episodes, you were able to share a lot of very interesting educational information about hearing loss. And I was kind of very intrigued as to what we would be talking about today. So what will we be talking about today?
Well, now that you have whet everybody's appetite, here we go. We're going to talk a little bit about hearing loss and as it relates to COVID. And I know we're getting all a little tired of hearing about it. There's been months of this, but it is really important to talk about.
So is there a hearing loss issue? Like you get COVID and you can have hearing loss? Is that what you mean? Or
Well, no, not so much that. It's just that, people dealing with hearing loss, we often think that it's just hearing loss. It's just a sense that is impaired. And it's just so much more than that. I mean, unbeknownst to a lot of people, when you're dealing with hearing loss, there are other senses that need to take over. Okay? So you've got your vision primarily that needs to kind of help out. Okay, so what happens to a person then when they cannot hear very well? What do? Well, they look for the visual cues. Without even realizing, people are lip reading to try to get those visual cues to make up for what they can't hear.
And we're all running around with masks now, I guess. So is that the issue?
Bingo. That's a big thing. I have many clients these days that come into the clinic and they say to me, I go to the bank or I go to the grocery store and there I am talking to a person who's behind glass, who is wearing a mask. I'm lost. I can't see their facial expressions. I can't see their mouth move. I've got a problem. I can't hear them.
I never even thought of anything like that. That's quite profound, actually. And because, as much as hearing is important to communication, they say it's maybe not even the largest part of communication. It's visual cues, lip reading, and all of those things.
Absolutely. It is so important. So you already have distance that a person is feeling. They're feeling isolation purely because of their impairment, their hearing impairment. Now you add the other factors in with not being able to visually sort of connect the dots. Well, you've got a major problem on your hand, and it's no wonder that my clients are feeling even more isolated and removed from other people.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
It's one of the reasons, if I may show you there, Berris, it's one of the reasons, I brought a visual aid here today, one of the reasons why I am wearing a shield in my clinic.
So it's not for welding?
No, well, welding's later. That's the next show. Okay.
Episode
for now, I have to wear that because it does provide a level of connection to my clients. It allows me to, in some way, maintain a bit of that audible connection to the client by using the the visual help, I guess, if you will. So this has been really helpful.
So do you think that that's something that's going to replace wearing these things? Like I because everyone's wearing these now, I think there's going to be a problem for a while for people that are hearing impaired. Because
yeah, I think so. I mean, the emphasis has been placed on wearing the mask. So naturally, people will automatically opt for what, our government officials have recommended, which has been the masks. For me, it just, I do everything possible in the clinic to maintain that high level of PPE, but it's the one thing that I cannot do. I can't, for my clients, talk like this. I just can't do it. It just doesn't. It's too unsettling for them.
Well, and to take a little bit of a right turn, it'll be interesting once the pandemic is over and we don't have to wear masks anymore, because it strikes me that in certain societies people wear masks all the time because of prevent germ spread. I would think that a certain percentage of the population in North America or elsewhere is going to just continue doing it because less is your chances of flu. So this is probably here to stay to some extent.
It will be, and it's a bit disconcerting. I mean, we would like to say at some point we'll get back to some sort of normal, but you're right, Berris. This may be that kind of new normal that they've been talking about, and so you feel for people who have that, who have hearing impairment and who have got to try to manage it somehow. And we need to all be a little bit more sympathetic.
Yeah, no, those are sage words, sound advice. Anything else until we talk next time?
Not really. I'm just encouraging people still to, to come into the clinic. The clinic, all the clinics in Chilliwack are open, some by appointment, some, hearing is still important, okay? And if you folks have not got your hearing tested, please do so. It's so important that we establish some kind of a baseline, so if anything happens down the road, we've got something to measure it to. So please don't stay away. We love to see you.
Thank you very much, Andy, and thanks to everyone for watching this edition of Now Hear This.
Thank you.
chillTV weather, leaves are changing color and falling, and so are the temperatures. The brisk autumn touch in the air will bring sunshine and cooler temperatures in the high teens. At 5:30 this afternoon, we have premiering the chillTV BC 2020 debate for Chilliwack, Kent, presented by Simpson Notaries. Be sure to tune in to hear incumbent BC Liberal Laurie Throness, NDP candidate Kelly Padden, and independent candidate and Chilliwack City Councillor Jason Lum answering questions from our debate moderator, Clint Ames. If you'd like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you have a story you think we should know about, send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. I'm Don Lehn.